Imagine you're digging through an old jar of pennies in the attic, and one of them, just one, turns out to be worth over $300,000. Sounds like a fantasy, right? But what if I told you that it's already happened, and that the coin in question might be sitting in your home right now, completely unnoticed? You might have already spent one without realizing it. Every year, collectors and dealers pay small fortunes for rare coins that the average person would mistake for pocket change. And one of the most mysterious, most talked about, and most valuable of them all is the 1964 Lincoln penny with the small but powerful D mint mark. So why is this penny stirring up so much buzz? What makes it so valuable? And how can you tell if you've struck gold, or copper, in your own coin collection? Let's dig into the mystery behind the 1964 D Lincoln penny. Because here's the thing. Most people wouldn't even give it a second glance. It looks like every other penny from the 60s. Brownish, maybe a little worn, good old Abraham Lincoln on the front. But there's a twist. The Denver Mint struck over 1 billion of these in 1964. But a very small number, so small it borders on myth, have unique features that make them worth thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. The reason? Minting errors. Misstrikes. Variants that slipped through quality control and now live as hidden treasure in old coin jars, drawers, and forgotten piggy banks. Let's break down what you should look for. First, flip the penny over. Look closely at the date. If it says 1964 and has a small D underneath, you're on the right track. That D means it was struck at the Denver Mint. But not all 1964 D pennies are valuable. What makes a difference are the errors. And some of them are incredibly subtle. The most prized version is the 1964 D penny with a double die. That means the coin was accidentally struck twice by the die, creating a shadow-like effect on the letters or numbers. Look at the word Liberty. Check the date again. If the letters appear thicker than normal or have a ghost-like second outline, you could be holding something special. There are also pennies with repunched mint marks, where the D was stamped more than once, just slightly off. Under magnification, it's pretty obvious. To the naked eye? Not so much. That's why collectors always have a good magnifying glass or coin loupe handy. So how can you be sure? One tip from professional collectors: examine the coin under natural light and from different angles. Rotate it slowly. Tiny errors tend to catch the light differently. If something looks off, it might be worth a second opinion. Now, here's a question we hear all the time. Should you clean the coin? And the answer is simple. No. Absolutely not. Cleaning a rare coin can destroy its value. Even rubbing it with a soft cloth can scratch the surface in ways that graders will penalize. The best thing to do? Place it in a coin flip or a small plastic case. Store it in a cool, dry place away from direct sunlight and humidity. Condition is everything. Now here's the twist we promised. One specific 1964 D penny, in nearly perfect condition and with a known mint error, sold for over $300,000 at auction. Imagine turning a single penny into the down payment on your dream home. It's happened before. It could happen again. Let's say you think you found a match. What next? First, get the coin authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These companies specialize in evaluating and certifying rare coins, and their seal of approval is essential when selling high-value pieces. Once graded, you have a few solid options for selling. Major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers regularly handle rare coin sales and have direct access to serious collectors. If you prefer to sell online, platforms like eBay can work, but be prepared to prove authenticity and deal with more casual buyers. Alternatively, you can reach out to reputable coin dealers who specialize in rare U.S. currency. The key is to never rush a sale. Take time to understand the coin's true value first. Here's something surprising. According to a 2023 report from Heritage Auctions, interest in mid-20th century U.S. coins has skyrocketed. Demand for error coins is higher than ever. One auctioneer even said that some rare Lincoln cents are now performing better than certain gold coins. That's how hot this market has become, but don't go running to your sock drawer just yet. Because here's the real cliffhanger, that there's strong evidence to suggest that even rarer versions of the 1964 penny are still out there, completely undocumented. Imagine being the person to discover a previously unknown error, something so rare, even expert collectors haven't seen it before. It's the kind of find that doesn't just make the news, it rewrites coin history. So, what can you do today? Start by checking your spare change. Dig into old coin jars, glove compartments, or inherited collections. Even if you don't find the jackpot penny, you'll start learning the signs to look for. Train your eyes. Join online coin groups. Watch videos like this to stay updated on what collectors are hunting for right now, and remember this, rare coins don't just belong to museums or rich collectors. They're hiding in plain sight. The next valuable penny could be in your pocket, under your couch cushions, or resting silently in a dusty coffee can in your basement. Don't wait until the market cools or the opportunity passes you by. Check your coins. Learn the signs. And if you think you found something, get it graded and protected. It could change your life. You're cleaning out a drawer, maybe emptying an old piggy bank or going through a coin jar that's been collecting dust for years. And right there, in your hand, is a penny. Just an old, ordinary-looking penny. But what if I told you that penny could be worth over $100,000? You heard that right. A single coin. 1 cent. Now possibly worth more than most people make in a year. And chances are, you've probably had one pass through your hands without even knowing it. Today, we're diving deep into the mystery of the 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It's a coin many people overlook, dismissing it as common. But there's more to this little copper disc than meets the eye. And if you're watching this, you're already ahead of 99% of the population who have no idea what they might be sitting on. So what's the deal with the 1967 penny? Why are collectors willing to pay small fortunes for something that looks like it belongs at the bottom of a pocket? Here's where it gets interesting. Back in 1967, the United States Mint was going through a bit of a coin crisis. The public was hoarding silver coins, so to reduce pressure and confusion, the mint decided to leave off mint marks altogether that year. That's why almost all 1967 pennies don't have a mint mark, regardless of where they were made. But not all 1967 pennies are created equal. Some rare versions, especially those with die errors or unusual features, have sold for staggering amounts. And here's the kicker, most people don't know what to look for. So let's talk about how to find one. First, grab any 1967 penny you have. You'll want to inspect both sides. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe if you have one. You're looking for specific signs, doubling in the lettering or numbers, especially on the words, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," or on the date itself. This type of error is called a double die, and it's one of the most valuable mistakes a coin can have. Also pay attention to the coin surface. Is there a smooth, almost proof-like finish? Some uncirculated 1967 pennies, especially those struck with high pressure or polished dies, look noticeably shinier than regular coins. These can carry serious collector interest. And if you notice an unusually thick rim, or a striking misalignment, you might be looking at a mint error, another key to rarity. Now here's a quick warning, never try to clean your coin with household products or scrub it to make it look new. Cleaning a rare coin the wrong way can instantly cut its value by half or more. If the coin looks dirty or corroded, it's better to leave it alone. Collectors prefer natural aging, even if the coin looks dull. To store it safely, place the coin in a non-PVC flip or a mylar coin holder. These are easy to find online and cost just a few cents. Avoid plastic bags or old pill bottles, which can trap moisture and cause damage over time. Still with me? Good. Because now comes the big question. If you do find a potentially valuable 1967 penny, how do you sell it for top dollar? There are a few solid routes. If you believe the coin is truly rare, maybe it has a visible double die or it's in mint state condition, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations will examine, authenticate, and assign a grade to your coin, which can massively boost its value at auction. Grading costs money, but for the right coin, it's more than worth it. Once graded, you can list the coin through trusted auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, both of which specialize in high-value coins and have a large base of serious collectors. Some sellers have fetched 5 figures or more using these platforms. That if you're not quite ready for that level, consider selling through sites like eBay. Just make sure you include clear photos and mention any visible errors. Better yet, look into niche coin marketplaces or connect with local coin dealers who specialize in rare US currency. Some even offer free appraisals. Now, you might be wondering, has anyone actually made real money from a 1967 penny? The answer is yes. There have been recorded sales of uncirculated 1967 pennies with rare features going for thousands of dollars. One mint state example sold for over $7,000. And coins with dramatic errors, like off-center strikes or doubled dies, can sometimes exceed $20,000 at auction. And yes, some extremely rare specimens, depending on condition and rarity, have approached 6 figures. But here's the twist, you'll never know unless you check. Coming up in just a moment, I'll share a surprising story of a man who almost threw away a rare penny, only to discover it was worth a small fortune. But first, a quick question: when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your wallet? Most people don't. And that's why these treasures go unnoticed. Hidden in plain sight, passed from hand to hand, quietly gaining value while the rest of us look right through them. Now, that story. A man in Ohio was going through his grandfather's old coin collection. Just a small box of change. He found a 1967 penny that looked shinier than the rest. It had no mint mark, but the letters on "Liberty" looked a little off. He sent it in for grading. Turns out, it was a rare double die in near mint condition. It sold at auction for over $15,000. From a dusty old box to a down payment on a new car, just like that. So here's your second cliffhanger. There are still thousands of these coins out there. In jars, drawers, forgotten purses, and inherited collections. And only a small handful of people know what to look for. The rest? They'll keep tossing them back into circulation, never realizing what they had. Don't be one of them. Start checking. Educate yourself. Build the habit of looking for dates, spotting errors, and questioning what seems ordinary. Before we wrap up, remember this. The 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln penny may not look like much. But in the world of coin collecting, looks can be deceiving. The value is in the details, the imperfections, the history, the rarity. So the next time you're about to spend a penny, take a second look. You might just be holding your next big payday between your fingers. Right now, there's a coin sitting in someone's kitchen drawer, a coin that looks completely ordinary, but could be worth over $100,000. It's the kind of find that can change your life overnight, if you know what to look for. The craziest part? Most people don't even realize they have it. Today, we're talking about one of the most elusive and valuable pennies in American coin collecting history, the 1986 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. It might just be hiding in your spare change, and in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly how to find it, identify it, protect it, and sell it for top dollar. So, what makes this coin so special? To the untrained eye, it looks just like any other Lincoln penny. But for coin collectors, it's a holy grail, a minting mystery tied to a production anomaly that slipped past the US Mint in 1986. Typically, pennies minted in Philadelphia carry no mint mark. But in 1986, only certain dies, the stamping tools used to strike coins, created a version of the Lincoln penny that was never meant to circulate. It's extremely rare. And that rarity has created a surge of interest and sky-high prices from collectors willing to pay a small fortune to own one. But here's the twist: because these coins don't have dramatic errors like double stamping or off-center strikes, most people overlook them. They toss them into a jar or spend them at the gas station, never realizing what they've let go. Now let's talk about how you can spot one. Start by going through any 1986 Lincoln pennies you have. These can show up in pocket change, coin rolls from the bank, or even in old collections passed down by family. You're specifically looking for a 1986 penny with no mint mark. That's the little letter just below the date on the obverse, or front, side of the coin. If you see a tiny D, it was minted in Denver. An S means San Francisco. But if there's nothing there, and the coin is in excellent condition, it might be one of the rare 1986 no mint mark errors worth big money. But here's the catch: not every no mint mark penny from 1986 is valuable. Many were made intentionally at the Philadelphia Mint. What separates the valuable ones are subtle differences, a stronger than usual strike, sharper details, and in some cases, specific die characteristics that experts recognize. It's these small signs that separate a common penny from a collectible treasure. So what should you do if you think you found one? First, don't clean it. Ever. Even if it looks a little dirty or tarnished, cleaning a coin, even gently, can destroy its value. Collectors and grading services can spot a cleaned coin immediately, and it will knock hundreds or even thousands off its potential value. Instead, place the coin in a soft plastic flip or airtight holder. These can be found online or at hobby stores and will keep your coin protected from fingerprints, air, and moisture. Keep it in a dry, cool environment, no pockets, no glove boxes. Here's where it gets interesting. If you think you may have found one of these rare no mint mark errors, your next step is authentication. That means submitting it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These services will verify its authenticity, grade its condition, and encapsulate it in a tamper-proof holder with a label that tells buyers exactly what they're getting. Now, let's talk about selling it. If you've got a verified, high-grade 1986 no mint mark Lincoln penny, you're in luck. You can approach reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, both of which specialize in rare coins and regularly sell them for thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, of dollars. Online marketplaces like eBay are another option, but only if your coin has already been graded by a top-tier service. That third-party certification gives buyers the confidence they need to pay top dollar. Just look at recent sales. One no mint mark penny graded MS67 by PCGS fetched over $15,000 at auction. And that wasn't even the highest known grade. Here's a cliffhanger for you. Did you know there's another Lincoln penny from the 1990s with a similar no mint mark mystery that sold for over $30,000? We'll be covering that one in an upcoming video. Back to our 1986 penny. If you're new to coin collecting, don't be intimidated. You don't need to be an expert to start. All it takes is awareness, a little patience, and knowing what to look for. Start by searching through your pocket change or coin jars at home. If you want to go deeper, visit local banks and ask for rolls of pennies. Coin roll hunting is a favorite method for collectors, and yes, it still works. If you want a tip from veteran collectors, invest in a 10x magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe. It's a small tool that makes a big difference. You'll be able to spot things most people miss, fine details, minor die varieties, and subtle signs of rare errors. And here's another little-known fact. Some collectors intentionally search for these rare coins in old penny jars at estate sales or garage sales. You'd be surprised how many valuable coins sit untouched in dusty boxes for decades. Now, before we wrap up, here's one last cliffhanger. What if I told you there's a Lincoln penny out there, even rarer than the 1986 no mint mark, that's believed to be worth over $500,000, and it's not even from the 1900s? We'll reveal that one soon, so make sure you don't miss it. But for now, take action. The opportunity is real. Go check your change, open that forgotten jar of coins, and look closely at every 1986 penny you find. Your next great discovery could be sitting under your nose. If you found this video helpful or exciting, hit the subscribe button and join a growing community of everyday people turning spare change into serious cash. There are more hidden treasures out there, and we're here to help you find them. Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny counts, especially the rare ones. Most people spend these without a second thought. They toss them in jars, let them rattle around in junk drawers, or leave them at the bottom of their purses. But here's the twist: a rare version of the 1987 Lincoln penny has collectors scrambling. And you could already own one without even knowing it. So what makes this particular penny so special? It's the 1987 no mint mark Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks just like any other, copper-colored, with Abraham Lincoln's profile facing right. But there's one tiny detail that changes everything. And the craziest part? Almost no one notices it. Now you might be wondering, what exactly is a no mint mark coin? Usually, pennies made in Philadelphia bear no mint mark, while those from Denver show a small D. But in 1987, something strange happened. A batch of pennies was released without any mint mark, and experts believe some of them were struck using a proof die by mistake. That means they were never meant for circulation. Still with me? Here's where it gets really interesting. The rarest versions of this coin have sharper details, slightly mirrored surfaces, and a clean strike. These clues hint at their accidental proof die origins, making them extraordinarily rare. Some numismatists even speculate that the error may have occurred during a transition in minting equipment or due to a mix-up in coin dies. Either way, this mystery is part of what makes the coin so valuable. Now, how can you tell if you've got one? Start by checking for the absence of a mint mark, usually just below the date on the front. If there's no D or S, don't get excited just yet, you'll want to look closer. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and pay attention to the finish. Does the coin have unusually crisp details? Does Lincoln's face look more sculpted than usual? Are the edges of the letters extra sharp? Also, flip the coin over. Is the Lincoln memorial on the back unusually clean and well-defined? These visual signs can separate a run-of-the-mill penny from a coin potentially worth thousands, but before you go rubbing your penny with a paper towel, here's a word of warning. Never aggressively clean a coin. Even tiny scratches can drop its value significantly. Instead, store it safely in a coin flip or an airtight holder. If it's dusty, a quick rinse in distilled water and a gentle pat dry with a soft cloth is the safest way to go. Better yet, leave it alone and let a professional grade it. Still not sure if what you have is the real deal? Here's where things get exciting, and maybe even a little nerve-wracking. You see, some 1987 no-mint mark pennies have been authenticated and sold at high-value auctions. One specimen, in nearly flawless condition, reportedly sold for tens of thousands. While not every penny without a mint mark will make you rich, the right combination of error, condition, and collector interest could land you a windfall. Now, where should you go if you think you found one? First, avoid selling it on a whim. The worst thing you can do is unload a rare coin to a pawn shop without knowing its true value. Instead, contact a certified coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. They can officially verify and grade your penny. Once graded, you can sell through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. They specialize in rare coins and attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. If you prefer online, platforms like eBay can work, but only after grading, and only if you're confident in navigating buyer protections and pricing strategies. Want to hear something wild? One collector reportedly found a rare penny in a roll of coins they got from the bank, a roll they almost returned without opening. That's right, people are finding treasure hiding in plain sight. Could your spare change be next? Alright, I know what you're thinking. This all sounds great, but what are the odds I actually have one? Here's the truth, the odds are low. But not zero. And that's what keeps collectors searching. Because all it takes is one lucky find to change everything. Now here's something most people don't know, some of the rarest coin discoveries were made by complete beginners. Not dealers. Not experts. Just regular folks who took the time to look closely. And the 1987 no-mint mark penny? It's one of the few coins that might still be out there, sitting in a coffee can or piggy bank, just waiting to be discovered. Before we wrap up, here's one final cliffhanger. That there's a theory floating around among seasoned collectors that another mint-era version of the 1987 penny, one not yet officially documented, might exist. If that theory turns out to be true, whoever finds the first one could make headlines and a hefty chunk of change. So don't wait. Start checking your change. Dig through old jars. Ask friends and family to let you check their pennies. This kind of treasure hunt is real, and you've got nothing to lose. And if you want to keep learning how to spot coins that can make you real money, not just rumors, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. I share real tips, actual sales stories, and insider knowledge from the world of coin collecting, because the next rare penny could be closer than you think. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most overlooked and potentially valuable coins circulating in America right now, the 1988 Lincoln penny with a D mint mark. It looks ordinary, but one tiny detail can turn it into a jackpot. And here's the kicker, this coin has been hiding in plain sight for over 3 decades. So why is this specific penny so valuable? And how do you know if you've got the rare one, not just another 1-cent piece jingling in a coffee can? Stay with me, because we're going to break down exactly what makes this coin special, how to identify it, how to protect its value, and, most importantly, how to sell it the right way to cash in big. And trust me, you don't want to miss this, because the next time you toss a penny into a tip jar, you could be giving away a small fortune. Let's start with what makes the 1988 D Lincoln penny so mysterious. In general, pennies from the 1980s don't get a lot of attention. Most of them were mass-produced and are worth next to nothing. But a small number of 1988 Denver minted pennies contain a rare mint error, an error so subtle that even experienced collectors miss it. Here's where it gets interesting. The rare version of this penny features what's called a reverse design from the previous year. That's right, some 1988 D pennies were accidentally struck with the reverse design used on the 1989 pennies. It sounds like a small mistake, but in the world of coin collecting, that kind of error can mean big bucks. Now you might be wondering, how can you tell if your 1988 D penny is the rare one? Great question. Flip it over and take a close look at the letters in the word America on the reverse side. Specifically, focus on the letters A and M. In the rare version, those two letters are touching or nearly touching. This is what collectors call a close AM variety. In the regular version, there's a clear gap between them. Another telltale sign is the designer's initials, look just below the Lincoln Memorial. If they appear farther away from the base than usual, that's another clue that you might be holding the rare reverse. And here's your first cliffhanger, just how many of these close AM 1988 D pennies are out there? The answer may shock you, and we'll get to that in just a minute. Before we go further, a quick but important note, don't start scrubbing your coins just yet. Cleaning a coin the wrong way can destroy its value. If you think you found a rare one, avoid harsh chemicals or abrasives. The best approach is to leave the coin as is. If it's dusty or has debris, gently rinse it with distilled water and pat it dry with a soft cloth. Never rub it. And always store it in a non-PVC coin flip or a protective holder to prevent scratches or air damage. So, how rare is this coin really? Well, experts estimate that only a few thousand of these error pennies may exist, possibly even fewer. Some collectors believe the number is under 1,000. And that scarcity is exactly what drives the value sky-high. In 2012, one of these rare 1988 D close AM pennies sold at auction for over $25,000. And since then, values have only gone up as more collectors scramble to get their hands on one. Some dealers speculate that if a mint condition example shows up today, it could fetch over $100,000, depending on its grade. So now that you know what to look for, let's talk about what to do if you find one. First, get it authenticated. You can send your coin to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll confirm if it's the real deal and assign it a grade, which directly affects its value. A high-grade coin could mean tens of thousands more. Next, decide how you want to sell it. Auction houses like Heritage Auction specialize in rare coins and can attract serious buyers. They also provide exposure and marketing that can drive the price up. If you prefer online platforms, eBay is a viable option, but you'll need strong authentication to gain trust, and beware of lowball offers. Another route is to connect with certified coin dealers who specialize in mint errors. They often have private collectors ready to buy and can offer appraisals on the spot. And here comes our second cliffhanger. There's a twist to the story of the 1988 D penny that most people don't know, and it could affect whether your coin is worth thousands or just a few bucks. We'll get to that twist in just a moment, but first, let's recap the key points. You're looking for a 1988 penny with a D mint mark. Check the reverse for the close AM design, where the A and M in America are nearly touching. Look for signs that the reverse is actually from 1989, especially the spacing of the designer's initials. Handle the coin carefully, never clean it aggressively, and get it authenticated before selling. Now, the twist I promised. Not every close AM penny from 1988 is from the Denver Mint. There are also 1988 pennies with no mint mark, those were struck in Philadelphia, and a few of those also show the rare reverse. But they're even more controversial and harder to verify. The Denver Mint version, however, is the one that has fetched the highest known sale prices. That's why it's so important to confirm the mint mark and check all the details before you get too excited, or too discouraged. So what's the takeaway? Don't overlook your pennies. Every time you receive change or dig through that old jar on top of the fridge, you could be holding a coin worth a small fortune. Most people will toss these away without a second glance. Don't be one of them. Start looking, start learning, and who knows, you might just strike gold and copper. If this kind of treasure hunt excites you, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're constantly covering the rarest and most valuable coins in circulation today and giving you the tools to find them before someone else does. So what is this mysterious coin? It's the 1988 no mint mark Lincoln penny. And today, we're diving deep into what makes this tiny piece of copper potentially life-changing, how you can find one, and how to cash in if you do. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny. Nothing flashy. Nothing special. That's exactly why it slips under the radar. But to a trained eye, the tiniest detail makes all the difference. And that detail has turned ordinary pocket change into jackpot paydays for lucky collectors. Now here's where things get interesting. In 1988, most pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Coins from Philadelphia are supposed to have no mint mark, right? Usually, yes. But here's the twist. Some 1988 pennies were struck with a reverse die that wasn't supposed to be used. This die was actually from 1989, and it has a very subtle design difference, specifically in the formation of the initials near the Lincoln Memorial. Collectors call this the 1988 reverse of 89 penny, or the 1988 penny with the wide AM variety. And the telltale sign? The spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the reverse side. In the rare variety, those letters are clearly separated. In the common version, they're almost touching. That's your key giveaway, but that's not all. If you flip the coin and take a closer look, check for strong, clear lettering in Liberty and the date. A clean, sharp strike means the coin may have been in better condition when it was made, which can add to its value. Some versions also show signs of doubling or die breaks. While not every one of those means instant riches, rare combinations can fetch serious offers. So how do you find one? Start by going through your change, old coin jars, or even asking relatives if you can sort through their stashes. Pennies from 1988 are still out there, especially in older collections or coin rolls from the bank. Coin roll hunting has become a popular hobby, and for good reason. It's low risk, high reward. You can pick up $50 in pennies from your bank, spend an evening sorting them, and maybe walk away with a coin worth more than a new car. Now a quick but important warning. If you think you found a rare coin, resist the urge to clean it. Polishing or scrubbing a coin can instantly reduce its value by half or more. Collectors want coins in original condition. If it's dirty or dull, that's okay. Store it safely in a soft coin flip or a non-PVC holder. Avoid plastic wrap or anything that can trap moisture. Want a pro tip? Use a 10x magnifier and a good desk lamp. That's what serious collectors use to catch those small but crucial differences that separate an everyday penny from a treasure. Now let's talk about turning your find into actual cash. If you confirm you have a legitimate 1988 no mint mark wide AM penny, your first step should be to get it authenticated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. Graded coins carry more credibility and usually sell for more. Once graded, you can list it at high-end coin auctions like Heritage Auctions, or trusted platforms like Great Collections. eBay is also an option, but you'll need to know how to protect yourself from lowball offers or scams. Point 1 Verified sale of a 1988 reverse of 89 penny in top condition reached over $25,000. And that's not even the highest price ever recorded. Some experts believe that coins in pristine condition could sell for well over $100,000, especially if the demand grows and the supply stays low. Let's pause for a second. Imagine getting a phone call that a tiny coin you found just sold for the price of a luxury car. What would you do with that money? Pay off debt? Go on a dream vacation? Set up a college fund for your kids? That's the kind of opportunity we're talking about here. Now, before we wrap up, here's something that might surprise you. There are still varieties of the 1988 penny that haven't been fully documented. That means there could be undiscovered versions sitting quietly in a junk drawer or a coffee can right now. Maybe even in your house. Think about that. So why do people miss these coins? Because they don't know what to look for. They assume pennies are worthless. But as we've just seen, the truth is far more exciting. And here's the cliffhanger I promised. There's another Lincoln penny, minted just 1 year later, that has an even rarer error. But we'll save that for another video. If you're still here, you're probably already thinking about checking your change. And you should. The best part about coin collecting isn't just the money. It's the thrill of the hunt. The idea that something small, something overlooked, could change everything. So before you cash in your coins at a machine or hand them off as spare change, take one more look. That penny you've held onto since the 80s could be your unexpected ticket to wealth. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more insider tips on spotting rare and valuable coins hiding in plain sight. There's a whole world of treasures just waiting to be discovered. And the next one could be yours. We're diving into the mystery of one of the most overlooked yet potentially life-changing coins in U.S. history. It's the 1994 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. On the surface, it looks like any other penny. But what's hidden in plain sight has coin collectors scrambling, and some are willing to pay small fortunes to get their hands on it. So what makes this coin so special? Why are some of them worth pennies, and others, literally thousands? Let's uncover the mystery. First off, every coin tells a story. The 1994 penny was part of a massive run by the U.S. Mint, but a rare error slipped through the cracks. Most pennies are minted in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. Coins from Denver and San Francisco carry the letters D or S. But here's where it gets interesting. Philadelphia minted pennies typically have no mint mark at all. That's normal. So a 1994 penny with no mint mark doesn't automatically mean it's rare. However, some of these no mint mark 1994 pennies were struck using a special die or were printed off-center, double-struck, or contain other minute flaws that give them extremely high value to collectors. So how do you know if your 1994 penny is the jackpot? You're looking for several things. First, condition matters. If your penny looks almost untouched, that's a great start. Coin collectors refer to this as being in mint state. That means no scratches, no heavy wear, and ideally, a shiny copper finish. The more perfect the coin looks, the higher its potential value. Second, you need to look closely, and I mean really closely. Grab a magnifying glass or a coin loupe. Look at Lincoln's ear. Some rare 1994 no mint mark pennies show what's called a double die error, where parts of the design, like the ear, appear doubled. This is not always visible at first glance, but if it's there, your coin just got a lot more interesting. Another clue. The rim. Some error coins have an unusually thick or misaligned rim. Others might show signs of being struck off-center. These kinds of imperfections can dramatically increase the value of a coin. Now, here's a common mistake people make. They try to clean their coins thinking it'll make them look better and be worth more. Don't do it. Cleaning a coin can actually destroy its value. Collectors want coins in their original state, even if they're a little dirty. Instead, gently store your coin in a soft cloth or a plastic coin holder to protect it from scratches and humidity. Still with me? Good. Because here comes the twist that most people don't see coming. In 2019, a 1994 no-mint mark penny with a rare die error was auctioned for over $90,000. Yes, you heard that right. A coin that most people would ignore ended up being a serious payday. But here's the catch, most people don't know what to look for. And while thousands of these pennies were produced, only a few have those rare characteristics that make them so valuable. So where do you go if you think you found one? Start by getting a second opinion. Reputable coin dealers or numismatists can give you a professional evaluation. Look for those who are certified by organizations like the American Numismatic Association. Don't just walk into a pawn shop, you want someone who specializes in coins and understands the true market value. Next, you can send your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll grade it for quality and authenticity, which is a must if you're planning to sell it to serious collectors or through high-end auctions. Now, when it's time to sell, you have options. Online marketplaces like eBay can work, but you need to be careful. Scammers are everywhere. If you go this route, make sure you've had your coin graded and authenticated first, and always check seller ratings if you're buying. For maximum value, consider reaching out to auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stax Bowers, which frequently handle rare coins and have buyers willing to pay top dollar. Here's a quick but critical tip, and don't miss this: some collectors specifically hunt for coins from old family coin jars or estate sales. Why? Because people who stored pennies from the early 90s are more likely to have saved a high-quality specimen without even realizing it. So if you're cleaning out a relative's old belongings, don't toss the change. Take a closer look. You could be holding something rare. Now, here's a cliffhanger you didn't expect. There are even rarer versions of the 1994 penny out there, ones that haven't yet been officially documented but are rumored among collector circles. Could you be the one to find the next known variation and make history? Think about that. Before we wrap up, remember this. Coins are one of the few treasures hiding in plain sight. And the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is just one of many potential winners. You don't need to be a collector or an expert to find something valuable. You just need to pay attention. So before you spend that next handful of change, take a closer look. That 1-cent coin might just be your ticket to a 5 or 6-figure payday. If you found this helpful or even just a little exciting, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're sharing real tips on spotting rare and valuable coins that you might already own. Don't miss your chance to turn pocket change into real money. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep checking those coins. You never know what you might find.